All right. Well, if you're still with me, congrats on making it through the playlist so far, going through the internal workflows inside of JobTread. Now we're going to move on to the more advanced workflow features where you can actually connect this with other softwares utilizing workflows and webhooks. All right. Now, workflows is completely brand new. So I'm sure there's going to be ways where you could further optimize some of these workflows and automations. But for now, it's been working fantastic for us here at Better Blast. And yes, we are actual JobTread users. All right. So for this example, we're going to go through how you can connect your Google Calendar and the schedule inside of JobTread. Now, this is all done through webhooks, and we're also going to be utilizing a tool called N8N that allows us to sync up to JobTread. All right. So for this example, we're going to talk about a new Google Calendar event getting added or updated inside of JobTread. All right. So basically what we want here is it's going to be triggered by a webhook. Now I'm going to show you guys some other tools here too that we utilize to make this happen. All right. So let's pull this over quick. You're going to see here, this is going to be N8N. So it's kind of like Zapier on steroids. And it's also a little less expensive. All right. So basically we connected our credentials for our Google Calendar, right? Where this is going to be a trigger where if something's created or updated on Google Calendar, it's going to use this code to basically put all this different data into the right fields and then send it to JobTread using that webhook feature. All right. So now let's pull this back up. And what we'll do is we'll actually create an event inside of Google Calendar. All right. So I'm going to do one a little bit further out here. So we'll pull up the calendar here. All right. So let's create a new event. We'll create it for Friday. What we're going to do is we're going to say test this event. For description, we'll say send it to JobTread. All right. And then we'll just do right here. We'll just do Pret T. That's my personal email. And then we'll make sure we spell this right, hey? And we're going to hit save. All right. So we're going to invite that. Now, if I pull this up, here we go. I had one error here, so I had to update it here. Boom, boom. All right. So now you can see we created this event. This is the data that gets pushed over. All right. And then basically what it's going to do is it's going to make sure that it wasn't too recent, so it's not just doing a loop. And then it's going to send over this info to JobTread in the workflows. All right. And I want to make sure here, when you look at this URL right here, this is going to be that webhook URL. So basically this right here, I can copy this, and this is actually what I put directly inside of here. All right. And then for the body, I made sure I had the right different fields going in. All right. So now if we go to the workflows, you can see here, it created this new task. All right. So I think we created this. If we go to the schedule, a couple weeks out, you can see here, here's the test event. All right. Now, what's great about this is if I update it inside of JobTread or if I update it inside of Google Calendar, it automatically updates that, right? I try to utilize the different Google Calendar event IDs, and same with the JobTread IDs, all right, to make sure that we're on the same page there. So basically, let's do this. I'm going to showcase you guys this. It's going to be a little bit of a longer video. It's a little bit more intense. All right. So if we go to workflows, I also set one up where it's going to send a webhook with all the information from a task that's created directly inside of JobTread. All right. So if you pull up N8N, you can see here, here's the webhook. So this is our production webhook. All right. So what I did is inside of this one, I have it going to this URL. which is the webhook URL that I have inside of JobTread or inside of N8N. So if we go to schedule, let's create something further out again here, and let's do an event here, event test from JT. Here is our event to send to Google. All right, let's do a type, let's do general, and then I'll hit save. All right, so now what I can do is I can go into settings, I can go into workflows, and you can see here, it's already queued up. All right, so now it's already gonna send it over. So what's so great about this, if I go into my N8N, I go into executions, you can see we have another one going right here. Boom, boom. And now it's actually going to create and update that event inside of Google. So let's go over here to our Google, and you can see we already got our test event. They added in the JobTread task ID and the calendar event ID. All right.